we're here with Jordan Francombe. So Jordan, first of all, how are you feeling after, well, 6 matches unbeaten?
Yeah, really good. Long time that sort of a run like that. We were really, really struggling at the start of the season. Lots of different reasons. It's really nice now to be in a team that's performing well, getting results, and everyone just feels a lot better when things like that are going for you.
Yeah, what's the whole overall feeling in the camp? Because obviously you've had an influx of new players come in, and obviously a complete change in fortunes and form. So how's everyone feeling really?
Good, I think. Yeah, it's really positive. I think we sort of still kept um, quite a lot of the core players, I would say. I mean, people will probably see in January we signed an awful lot of players. We also lost players and lots of boys left the club. But I would say the vast majority of the team starting is still very much there. I would say we've only really signed maybe 3 or 4 starters, so that really helps with continuity and things like that. But the new boys have really lifted us quality wise, and also they're a great bunch of boys to bring into the club as well. So yeah, everyone's really happy, really cohesive at the moment. And I think people are really trying to drive each other on as well. So we're not sort of resting our laurels now, thinking that we're safe because we won a couple of games. We're definitely not. With bad results, you just probably back down to the bottom again. So yeah, everyone's sort of trying to drive each other on and make sure we continue on this run.
Yeah, and how are you feeling over that? Apart from that Glenavon win, because I mean, a lot of people were going into that with them being 11 games unbeaten. For you guys to go and perform the way you did, it must have been a real sort of indication of the progress you're making.
Yeah, definitely. I think yeah, it's a really good result. As you say, 11 beating for them. They're a tough side. We went up there at the start of the season. It was actually our first point of the season there, 1-1 away, in a few as well up there. But yeah, I think we defended, really well. Is I think they had a shot on target the whole game, which is really important for us. Um, a lot of emotion at the final whistle, I would say, which I think comes across the video that you made in the blog and also on the VO from the highlights, things like that. A big role when we the final whistle went, and it meant an awful lot to get those 3 points after 2 sort of poor draws, I would say, against Croatia in particular. We threw it in the last minute, and Dradiga, to be fair, we were lucky probably to get a draw there, but not what we wanted. So yeah, really nice to get 3 points.
Yeah, so Chepstow's next, going away from the Newport Stadium. In your previous encounters with them, how do you view them as an opponent in general?
They are a big boat for us, Chepstow. I think this is my sixth season with the club. Sixth, draw there maybe once, and at home I don't really recall us picking up many points either. So yeah, they're really tricky. It's a local derby of sorts, I suppose. I mean, it's quite far, but one of the closest teams to us. Um, they're always up for the game. Be a really tough test. Their pitch is like the exact opposite to ours, so it's really short, narrow. Surface isn't great, sort of adapt a little bit to that. But yeah, really looking forward to it, I think.
Yeah, and sort of in general, I'm in taken away from the team, and how do you feel about your game at the moment? Because I thought you had a really really good game against Bernabon, at centre back. So is that sort of do you consider yourself in good form, and what improvements can you make?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think on Saturday I had a good game along with everyone really. I don't think anyone had a poor game at all. I think, as I say, particularly the boys at the back were really strong, limits them to barely anything. Just really enjoying playing, to be fair. I think I missed all of the 2020-21 season and the majority of last. Well, I had a really bad ACL tear. Needed a lot of surgery, a lot of rehab. I think it was looking quite likely, to be honest, at one point I wouldn't come back and play. So I'm really happy that I am back. I'm really enjoying it. There's an awful lot of competition, particularly at centre half. I'd say we've probably got 6 boys who could quite easily slot in and play whenever someone isn't available or get sent off like Martin did before for being a bit of an idiot. So yeah, really good competition there. But yeah, just really pleased to be involved. Really.
Yeah, I mean, it must mean an awful lot when the team is getting results after you've spent a period off the field, especially such a lengthy period. I mean, how difficult has it been really to come back from almost never playing a game to now becoming a regular part of the side again?
Really tough. There was a lot of I tore my ACL and a couple of other things in the knee during COVID. So just before we were about to come back in sort of 2020, I suppose. Um, so I had an operation then. I did it in the August, an operation in the December. An awful lot of rehab needed to do there. Obviously, the gyms weren't open because of COVID, so that was delayed. Um, sort of really struggled with not being able to do stuff, put on an awful lot of weight, which I think is always tough for people who are playing regularly, normally in semi decent shape. I would never say good shape up myself, but put on a lot of weight and that was hard to deal with. And watching the boys, I'd be there, so most weeks watching. Yeah, it's just not the same when you're not involved properly. You can be there and present, but if you're not contributing or you're not able to contribute, it really isn't the same. People don't sort of speak to you in the same way. You can't have the same sort of banter with the boys. But yeah, just really sort of pleased to be back and very thankful, I suppose, for the surgeon and the physio that I had to help me get through all that. And people around me really to make sure that they did stuff for me when I couldn't walk and things like that. I got very lucky to have my missus who basically looked after me and nursed me back to health.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what improvements? I mean, you're 6 unbeaten. You said there were a couple of needless draws in there, but so what improvements do you think the team need to make ahead of a bogey team like Chepstow?
I definitely think we need to be scoring more goals. I sort of pot kettle coming from me at the back there, but we've created an awful lot of chances in the last month or so, I would say. And if we stuck even sort of 2 or 3 of those away every game, we'd be sort of blowing teams away. I mean, really, we are talking some of the games sort of 10, 15 decent chances. And we've got some brilliant attacking players who have kept us in games this year. Cliff, Hudson in particular with their goals. But all the boys across that forward line, I'm sure will say themselves that they should be maybe bagging a few more and helping us, climb that table.
Yeah, and well, and finally, I mean, how important is it now for you to continue that run? Because once you're on a run of confidence in football, yourself, it feels like you're flying and no one can stop you. Is it important to keep that run of games going now?
Yeah, definitely. I think you hear a lot of professional managers and players talk about momentum and how important that is. It's a little bit different at our level because obviously you're not in the training ground every day, and it's that little bit different for you, sort of start stop, and work comes in the way and other things get in the way and distract you. But even when you turn up to training now after sort of 6 on the bounce, the feeling is different with the boys. People more relaxed, more confident. But I say the main thing is when you're on that pitch on a Saturday, you know that you've got a chance, or I say even more likely to go and nick a point or nick a goal somewhere because you found something in the last couple of games to be able to do that.
Brilliant. Right, best of luck for that, Jordan, and we'll catch you Saturday.
Cheers, Chris.